It's another throwdown as Melbourne United play host to South East Melbourne, of course, with a brand new interim head coach. It doesn't seem to do much for the Phoenix because Melbourne United are big-time favourites in this contest, and the reason why, they've got a three-headed monster in the backcourt. Matthew Dellavedova, Chris Goulding and Ian Clark. We're going to put those guys in the Sportsbet same-game multi. So Dally and Clark to make 2+3s and Chris Goulding to make 3 or more. Enjoy the throwdown. Melbourne United against South East Melbourne Phoenix.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
It has been a very, very impressive showing from Melbourne United today. Big winners over the Adelaide 36ers. Melbourne, far too good. Story of the day, no question about it though, is for the South East Melbourne Phoenix, who they are winless to start NBL25, and today they made the move and terminated Mike Kelly's contract.
Unfortunately, we feel that another voice will push his team forward.
I see it, but I don't believe it. The former coach announcing the sacking of the current coach. Where did it all go wrong?
Results are needed, and that's as simple as that. With an 0-5 start, South East Melbourne pulled the pin.
In the National Basketball League, wins and losses dictate your destiny.
Hello and welcome to John Cain Arena for Throwdown 26. Melbourne United take on their crosstown rivals, the South East Melbourne Phoenix. And that man right there, Sam McKinnon, day one, game one of his tenure as interim head coach after the South East Melbourne Phoenix parted ways with Mike Kelly after only 5 games in the season. Andrew Gaze, Bernard Copeland, as we look at the Mitsubishi Motors standings, he's got a hell of a lot of work to do.
Well, it's not about Sam McKinnon, it's not about Mike Kelly, it's about those players now. They've lost the last 6 games by an average of 16 points. It's time to be men now and get the job done.
Yeah, it's going to be tough ask for them today because they're up against an elite defensive team in Melbourne United. In fact, the best of the competition statistically right as we speak. But they have been getting a little bit of an advantage with no Shea Illy, who is just a pest in the backcourt, makes life real tough for the guards. So they do have a little bit of relief in what they have to face tonight.
When you unpack the numbers, you see just how important Shea Illy is to this team and just how good it's going to be for Nathan Sobey to not be pestered by him up and down the court, because he needs the fire.
Yeah, he's a big off-season signing for Phoenix, has not found his rhythm at all. And I think for him, with Sam McKinnon coming on, a fresh voice, and also hopefully for his sake, a fresh role. He's come off the bench, he started the first 4 games, then he came off the bench, but to me it's more positionally on the floor rather than where he starts.
Now, Dean Vickerman, the head coach of Melbourne United, he'd be feeling pretty confident coming in here, as history says they have been dominant. The last 6 throwdowns, they've won by double figures.
Look, you got to forget about that. Just come in and play Melbourne United basketball, because Southeast Melbourne are the wounded dog. Never underestimate them, but I still think Melbourne United have to get the job done.
How do you think South East Melbourne come into this? Of course, Sammy Mack, he hasn't had much time as a head coach with them, but they're surely going to be able to find something in the tank to bounce back here.
Well, a lot of it's been their ability to put the ball in the hole. They're second last in 3-point shooting, and when you look at the personnel they recruited, that was supposed to be an area of their strength. Perhaps in this short period of time that he's had a little bit more in the half court, a little bit more in their system, get a little bit more open, and hopefully they can shoot the ball a little bit better than they have so far.
And it's a tricky point, Leonard, for Sammy Mack, because he's coming in here and the word is getting out that this isn't going to be his full-time job. There is going to be a new head coach coming in, a European coach potentially for South East Melbourne later down the track.
If that's the case, I'm telling the boys, forget everything I said, let's go out there and have some fun.
They're going to bounce back though, surely. If you're Nathan Sobey today, how do you approach this game? Going into the starting lineup, that didn't quite work. They sent him to the bench, that didn't quite work. If this doesn't work, where to now for Nathan Sobey?
Well, he's got enough runs on the board to know that he's a high-quality player, but he'd be pretty nervous about his form, because he would know himself that it hasn't been up to his expectations so far.
Well, let's catch up with Steph Baumgartel to see just who caught up with Chris Goulding earlier.
Great to be with you courtside this afternoon. I chatted with Chris Goulding earlier. He is absolutely fired up for the throwdown. He does concede, though, it is going to be hard to fill the void that Shea Illy leaves. Joel Foxwell does get the call-up to come in. A very special matchup for the young gun to be a part of, because it does mean he gets to be rivals with his older brother Owen course plays for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
Well, it's time to check out Harvey Norman in the zone with Derek Walton Jr.
I said, maybe I can, then I just sit back. Cause I've been getting paid. Look like lemonade. Appreciate y'all. Wasn't nothing I could do.
I heard you ask for it.
No, I didn't. How y'all doing?
I'm all right, brother.
What's up, killer? How you? Good to see you.
If the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are to win today, it's that man, Derek Walton Jr., who is going to have a massive say on proceedings. Officially another sellout for the throwdown between Melbourne and Southeast Melbourne. And we are underway. The final ticket was sold this morning. Here's the lob. Perfect opening play for Melbourne.
Wow, what a play. Beautiful execution. And again, only the first possession, coach, but that defense.
That's not what you want to see.
You need a lot more ball pressure.
Geordie Hunter, Derek Walton Jr., Nathan Sobey, Matt Hurt, Malik Lewis. The starters for Southeast Melbourne. Geordie Hunter makes them pay.
If he starts making those shots on a regular basis, look out.
Well, they're going to give it to him. He's going to be open a lot, but he has been knocking him down a little bit more efficiently this season than previously.
Sobey, it's Hunter involved early. Nice deep from Rob Lowe. Jack White downhill, only Hurt in front of him. Lewis came, provided some help. Starters for Melbourne: Lowe, Dellavedova, White, Clark, and Golding.
You know, this is one of those games I want to see Sobey have a good one. I mean, the pressure's been on him. You know he's a good person. He puts the work in, and you know he can play, Joey. But, you know, you need to see the ball going the whole time.
Well, that's right. I think it's both ends of the floor. He can be one of the better defenders in the competition. Sometimes gets a little lost, but his intent is usually pretty good.
Here's Sobey back into the starting lineup today. That shot right there is, in many ways, the story of his season so far.
It is, but that's a perfect shot for him. Didn't force anything, got a good look, just went in and out.
Dellavedova. And a little decoy for Golding. Shot clock at 7. Clark got a piece of that shot blocked by Malik Lewis. Nice deep from the next up.
Well, they're only going to have 3.8 seconds to get a shot off because that shot did not touch the rim.
Oh, don't worry about it. They'll get it off.
That's more than enough time. Can make a pass or two with almost 4 seconds.
White knocks that ball out of bounds. 26 meeting between the two teams, Drewy. Melbourne have won 18, including the last 6 by an average of 16 points.
Yeah, it's been a dominant run by Melbourne United.
Here is Malik Lewis, the next star. Splashes one early.
That was clean. Good play, too.
Well, I reckon that's what they've needed a bit more of, just a bit more concentration on their half-court sets.
Back time for Dellavedova. Early turnover from the Phoenix, who average 11 of those a game. Here's the Amy replay.
The penetration, Derek Walton Jr., that's what he's good at. He can get into the paint, but he's still got the vision to know where his teammates are. Finds Lewis for the 3-ball. Good deep.
That is a carjacking right there.
Jack the car, but certainly stole the hubcaps.
Lewis blocked by Lowe. Hunter kept it alive. Here's Matt Hurt, blocked by Jack White.
And he's talking trash to him.
Emphatic block.
Jack said, no, sir.
Talking trash to his former Duke teammate.
That's right.
Clark puts the hurt on Southeast Melbourne early. Couple of big defensive plays early from Melbourne United.
They look locked in defensively. They are the best defensive team in the competition. All of the metrics say that. Hunter left alone again. Melbourne will live with that. Now White. Post up on Derek Walton Jr.
Surely they got to send some help, though.
Help didn't come, and they dodged a little bullet there, the Phoenix. Joe Wieskamp, one of their imports, comes to the scorer's table. Sobey gets that to stick. His first points of the game.
Well, it is. It's a no-pass offense, though, and it's just stationary on one side of it, the floor.
Golding celebrating a milestone last week, game number 450 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Out to Rob Lowe, 16 and 6 last week. He's starting to find some form.
He stretches the floor very well for them.
I don't think you can hard show with Rob Lowe. I think you got to switch because he's too good from the three-point line, although this season not as good as he has been in the past, but
the last couple of weeks he's found his range.
He's starting to feel it.
Yeah.
He's starting to get there.
Yeah.
And some wholesale stops by.
He's tired though. He's exhausted. He has to come out.
Without Shea Ely, they go with young Foxwell. Now this is not Owen Foxwell, who we're familiar with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. This is Joel, and they did this earlier on in the season in Perth. Got him some early minutes, got him into the game, and he didn't look out of place. He certainly didn't look overawed with the circumstances playing on the road in Perth.
Played 9 minutes in that game.
Well, they all like to play defense. They all get up in the end.
It's in the DNA. Nice find for Marcus Lee. And Derek Walton got a bit of ball, but a lot of hand. This has been symptomatic of Southeast Melbourne early on, Copes. These defensive lapses, they switch off, and only for 3 or 4 seconds, but it's enough.
Well, first of all, you got to have defensive players. You got to have guys that want to play defense. And they've been offensive-minded for a very long time.
They go a 2-3 zone on the underneath out of bounds and almost paid the price with the Golding 3.
Matt Hurt has been the shining light for Southeast Melbourne.
I like him.
That doesn't count. Averaging 22 points a game, 7 rebounds, and shooting the 3 ball at 44%.
And he knows how good he is too.
Chris Golding sits down. Tom Bogdanovic into the game.
I look at this game now, Drew, and I see how much has changed from when we played. The amount of subs in the first 3-4 minutes of a game has blown my mind. Could you imagine Daisy knocking down a 3 and then asking him to come out? Never, ever, Jack.
Well, it is a different game, and they played at a different intensity. So, and the depth, only 10 teams. You got to find minutes for high-quality players. So, it's a product of the quality of the league.
Clark crosses over on Wieskamp. Little push with the right hand. Oh, knocked out of bounds by Derek Walton Jr.
When you think of all the subs, it affects the Southeast more than most because they are last in bench scoring at only 15 points a game.
Such a low number, that, isn't it? Clark on the move, gets inside, lays it up. Everything he does with class.
They're in a zone too. When you're in a zone, you should provide a little more help on the penetration. Again, that was just all a bit too easy.
Wieskamp, his floater short. Finding they're going a little tough in his first season. 25-year-old out of Iowa. Joel Foxwell, good look for Clark. Checks the feet. 5 of 14 to start the game. Melbourne United. Here's Angus Glover. Tip-in doesn't count from Bogdanovic either. End-to-end stuff, but both teams not capitalising on their opportunities.
They can't score, Phoenix. They're 3 of 12.
Foxwell's extra pass, a little too hot for Bowen.
And they've had some good looks, but just the look of what Sam McKinnon's introducing here, just the subtle differences as we see Walt Jr. get to the rim.
Tough shot, though.
They are a little bit more effective with some off-ball screening and some cutting.
Joel Foxwell running a point. Dellavedova getting ready to check back in. Here's Tanner Krebs. 40% shooter for the season. Hear the frustration from Dean Vickerman. Glover puts the ball on the floor. Nice take, and Southeast Melbourne hit the front.
And that's a tough move by Glover. He's one of those guys that can get it done, too. We've seen it.
And it's the second effort. They have the initial penetration, not on, kick out, and then straight away, Glover puts it to the deck, gets to the rim, and the defense not quite as set on that second effort.
Tangerine timeout at Southeast Melbourne, who lead by 1. Chris Golding playing game number 450 last week. We caught up with him pre-season, and he spoke about where it all started back as a DP.
Yeah, it's something I'm proud of, coming through the DP ranks and, you know, scrambling to try and find a job when the Bullets went down and, you know, taking barely no money to move across the other side of the country, and thankful to Perth for giving me an opportunity to just stay in the league and training and being a part of professional basketball. So it's something I'm proud of, having been a development player and kind of moved up a little bit. It's really important for the league, having development players and having them have an opportunity to move up to the main roster and go from there.
From pretty humble beginnings, he's become an outstanding player in this league. Had 19 points when the teams played in round 2. And over the course of his career, Copes averages 17.5 points versus Southeast Melbourne.
No surprise at all. A quality player, quality person off the floor, but can get the job done. This is a person you cannot leave open. And even when you're on him, he makes tough shots.
We averages 11 field goal attempts from the field, 9 of them coming from the three-point line. I love that.
He's your sort of guy.
I do. That's knows his strength and he sticks to it.
Flynn Cameron into the game with no Shea Ellie. Prime opportunity for the young New Zealander to step up today.
And he's done a good job all year. Coming in off that bench, playing good defense, can knock down the shot, causing turnovers like he just did.
He's a really interesting one, Flynn Cameron. He comes from such great stock. His father, Pero, a legend of New Zealand basketball. I don't think it's unfair to say he'd be a starter in a lot of other teams as their point guard, but he's doing his apprenticeship here at Melbourne United.
Yeah, no doubt. I've been big on him. I like the look of what he brings to the table, and he's not only his dad, superstar player, but he's turned into a pretty good coach. Coached the New Zealand national team. Currently, his dad's coaching over in the CBA. That's the China basketball league.
One of the strongest basketball players I have ever played against in my entire life. Wasn't he, Joey?
Yeah, he was. Marcus Lee missing one that you normally expect him to make. Oh dear.
Oh dear, that's a bad mistake from Vodanovic. Marcus Lee at the top of the key. Melbourne lead by 2.
Oh my goodness.
Both teams with some pretty uncharacteristic turnovers.
Really basic fundamental errors. But Janovic, the last possession down, clearly he thought they'd called a different play and wasn't ready for it, but you've got to be alert regardless of what the play is.
Looked like he was trying to catch a cake of soap. That thing just slipped straight out of his hands. Wieskamp turns the corner. Good look for 3. That's missing by a fair way. Nice hustle, Vodanovic. It's not a stat they excel at, second chance points, Southeast Melbourne. That's better. Glover. Blocked. It's a block. Jack White definitely got a piece of that.
Absolutely he did.
He certainly did, but it's one of those ones where you see it. Now he gets contact, but is there See, after it goes by the contact, sometimes the shooter still has made contact.
Matt Hurt with the 2 points so far. Had to shoot against the shot clock.
I just think Phoenix settles for jump shots way too much.
Matt Hurt's already shown he can be a beast on the box. As Chris Golding gets a mid-range jumper. Rare as rocking horse droppings these days when you see someone get a mid-range jumper.
Normally means they've run out of options.
Yes.
Malik Lewis. Unsuccessful. Geordie Hunter being held. Chris Golding's not happy with it. Be a question of who was holding who to start with.
He's upset.
I'm going to ask for it to be looked at to see if what happens.
Nah, that's just two guys tangled up.
Yeah.
Now, it might have hurt Chris. I'm not saying it didn't hurt him, but...
My career. Sorry, so I'm going to ask for it to be looked at. Can you please just take your players away?
I did not see anything untoward. They look like they're both holding each other. Now, there's no doubt that probably hurt Chris, but didn't look like Hunter
The replay center, I want to have a look for
ripped him or... Coach,
No.
did you see, Jack? Did you see?
Nothing. It is, yeah.
If Hunter does anything in that tangle up,
So they're locked up.
An unsportsmanlike foul.
He's trying to get his arm
He's trying to
out.
get his arm out.
I don't. They hook up and tangle up. I don't see, because I'm on the closed angle, I don't actually see if he then yanks at his arm.
So we're listening to Chris Reid, our
That's why I
senior
wanna have a look
official.
at it. See if he makes an unusual or unbasketball act on the yank of the arm.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, sometimes you get a little jolt to the shoulder and it can...
But they're both holding each other, though, so...
Yeah, it didn't look like it. I didn't see Hunter really
I didn't. No.
try to...
I think we could probably just get on with the game, couldn't we?
Let's go.
Well, I'm not batting well when it comes to these reviews and where they draw the line.
25 seconds left before quarter time. One more look at it, Copes. You're the judge.
They're both holding each
Hang
other.
on, it's not there. It's what...
He's looking at the ref. He's trying to get his arm out.
Blue ball.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, the review centre came to the same conclusion that we did.
And Melbourne by 2 after all of that.
Now, if Geordie Hunter blows on somebody, they're going to call a foul.
Yeah. The matchup of Dellavedova. And he tries to isolate him. Shot clock goes to 3. It's a 2-point lead to Melbourne at quarter time. 18-16 in throwdown 26. Chris Golding still unhappy with the officials as we head to quarter time. It's Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
care, bro. Take care, gang. Stay. Pop to get a lead. Go get a lead. Go get a lead. Oh, got one. Yo! That gotta be intentional. He grabbed my jersey.
Derek Walton Jr., Harvey Norman in the zone player this afternoon. It's 18-16 after 1 at John Cain Arena. A sellout for Sunday Hoops. Adelaide and Tasmania to come after this to finish off the round. Here is Walton Jr. Hopefully we get that one mic'd up at halftime.
Yeah. I love listening to him, and you can see him on the defense, or hear him on the defense as well. It's like he's commentating his own play, which is a good thing. Get in the habit of talking on the defensive end.
Lowe puts the ball on the floor, blocked by Malik Lewis.
Malik's had a couple of blocks today.
He's got some athleticism, the youngster. And Clark bombs away. Has 5 points, make that 8 points to become the game's leading scorer. Walton Jr. surveying his options. Good look for Lewis. And Dellavedova. Back up the top. The shot clock rolls into single figures. Clark had some work to do to go and reel that in, but he's made a brilliant start to this game.
He's been on fire the last couple of games, in fact. Put him in that starting lineup.
Do you like him as a starter?
I've always liked him as a starter, but I get that Melbourne United, what they're doing and needing some spice off the bench. This guy's got a world of experience. He can shoot the best of them.
Dellavedova fell over. All accidental.
Well, it was Chris Golding who come in to try and help tag the roller.
The replay of this is going to be really interesting. Let's have a look here.
Watch Chris Golding, 43.
Chris got him.
Oh, that didn't look good on Matthew Dellavedova's knee.
Yeah. Pull the floors on Golding, cut off the heavy top.
Well, he's fundamentally trying to do what you're supposed to, and that's tag the roller. But he was just, and I think it is going to get upgraded as well.
There's tagging and then there's that. Isn't there?
There's tagging and there's a little bit of a...
That's just a hip and shoulder. And Matty Dellavedova did not look good. He's a tough customer, and straight away he said, I need a sub, which is not...
And he's gone to the back too.
Steph will chase that one down for us.
So this potentially is as an opening now for the Phoenix, because...
Foul is 43, blue, blocking foul, white ball.
What do we think?
I think it was on the margins.
Yeah.
I'm not unhappy with it, but it was on the margins because the way in which he turned his body and dropped the shoulder.
But play hard, okay?
They upgraded it. They tried to looking at the upgrade, but they didn't deem it was excessive.
But the referee had a chat with Dean and just said, we've had a chat with Chris. He needs to calm down a little bit. No, he's still upset about the first call, but he needs to calm down, help us out, and have a chat with him. That was from the referee to Dean Vickerman.
The end result is you don't have your two best defenders into the backcourt.
And if Phoenix can't take advantage of this,
he's Golding at the other end. He's starting to get that look in the eye.
Look at him.
And if he gets that look in the eye, and now he's talking a whole lot of trash to Southeast Melbourne, things are getting spicy.
Well, I think the Southeast Melbourne bench had a few words to say to Chris, and they poked the bear, and the bear's just splashed a 3-ball. And look at this.
he gave the
I don't
look
know
at
who
him to
was
say,
directing it.
you don't know who you're messing with, bro. Let's go.
We got royalty all through this venue today at John Cain Arena, and Steph has got an Olympian.
Absolutely. Everyone Everyone wants to come to a throwdown, even Olympic champions. You might recognise her from the swimming pool in Paris. It's Molly O'Callaghan, a guest of Tangerine today. Molly, you've had a bit of time now since Paris. Have you been able to decompress?
Not really, but you know, it's enjoyable getting to travel around Australia, get to come to events like these and support other teams and sports. So it's really exciting.
There's just days between games for basketball. There's 4 years for you now to the next Olympics. Has training begun for you already?
I'm slowly getting back in. It's very hard from going to your fittest to the most unfittest you've ever been, but you know, I'm trying to head back in as soon as I can.
Awesome. I'm sure no doubt we'll be cheering you on in LA. Thanks for having a chat to us, Molly.
Thank you so much.
Molly O'Callaghan here today. And we're starting to witness something. Chris Goulding's still got that sort of, well, I think you described it last year, Drew, is that look on the face of when perhaps something's a little whiffy in the air.
Yeah, that's right, he pulls those faces. I didn't see it then. That was more, I've taken a few angry pills before the start of the game type look. But he can be one of those ones that when he gets in this frame of mind, he starts taking really tough shots and starts making them.
Phoenix cannot score. They're 7 of 23 from the field, 2 of 10 from outside. And Goulding kept it alive. Malik Lewis 1 on 4 up ahead. He's got Hurd on the trail. Got it.
It's not pretty, but it goes in.
No, it's certainly not the fundamental shooting technique you want to show on a highlight reel, but it's effective.
For all of their challenges, they only trail by 5, but for a second, Flynn Cameron strong.
That's 2 strong men going at it inside.
Three minutes gone in the second quarter. The Phoenix winless to start NBL 25. Walton Jr., a little dump off inside, and that was callous from Rob Lowe. And not for the first time this season we've seen that.
Well, what's even worse is Walton Jr.'s also hurt his hamstring. So that's clearly too high, and that's upgradable, and it has been. But Derek Walton Jr. is holding his hamstring.
Thank you, He just had a chat to Sam McKinnon, Derek Walton Jr., and said, just give me a minute, let me see if it's something I can work out. But that's the last thing the Phoenix need.
Of course, once you start grabbing that hamstring.
Well, there's nothing subtle about this at all. That's just around the neck, too high. That's be in trouble if you did that in the AFL. Might be spending some time on the sidelines. A tackle like that.
You sure it's not the Tigers and the Magic playing out at Knox back in the day?
Bit of Mark back to John Dorge.
Yeah, that's what it is. You want a little spice? You can choke somebody and you'll get plenty of spice up in here.
Although Derek Walton Jr. only's got the 4 points, he's 2 of 3 from the field. And his leadership out there, the way in which he's finding people, setting people up, he'd be a huge loss if
got you here, Flynn, Nathan.
He can't continue on. He's going to try and push through it.
Let's have a good look at him. He's not walking well right now, Derek Walton Jr. Having no involvement in this play.
Oh, another one, another one.
That's the dominant action.
Rob Lowe. Have a look at under the basket. Rob Lowe there. Now again, he didn't mean it, but it's an elbow to the throat of Geordie Hunter. And it's a good call. You could make an argument that perhaps he was being held a little bit before that, but he can't push off. And as you heard, it's the dominant action that got pinned.
And Derek Walton Jr. stepped out and gone to the back.
So Owen Foxwell now into the game. We saw his brother Joel in the first quarter for Melbourne. Now it's Owen's turn. How can the Phoenix coach channel what's happening right now? Melbourne are getting just a little frustrated and a little physical at times. How can the Phoenix make this work for them?
Well, as a Phoenix player, you got to get together and say, look, they've lost their two best defenders. They're throwing elbows and they're choking, and let's put it together here and go to work. Because if you don't, you got to take it personal now. They're putting you on your butts. Every time you drive to the basket, they're knocking you down. So if you can't stand up now, something's wrong.
Well, the problem that Melbourne United have had through this, there's no Shea Ely. Matty Dellavedova is out with a knee complaint, will look like that. And Rob Lowe is another one of their starters who, well, he's throwing himself around.
Oh, yes, sir.
So it's all good and well to try and be physical, but you also got to be smart.
But Phoenix have to take advantage right now. Let's not mess around. Sobey has to go to work right now.
Sobey's one of them.
Sobey right now is the first or second best player on the floor right now.
Makes both. It actually couldn't have panned out any better for Nathan Sobey. No Dellavedova, no Illy.
And the ball is going to be in your hands now.
Look at Foxwell scrapping after it.
That is what they need right there. That is what they need.
It'll be called for the foul, but here's the injury to Derek Walton Jr. That's straight at the hamstring, Drew. You saw it straight away.
Yeah, it is, and it's probably as he changed direction there, you push off, and that extension.
I'd love to see Ben Air get a little time now. Come in, knock down a couple of threes, and fire this group up, because we know he can do it.
Not the first time, Cameron, or the second. He'll be shooting free throws.
Well, somehow or other, they got to make Ian Clark more of the ball carrier. And we're going to see Foxwell on Foxwell as Ian Clark comes out. And I think that's because Dean Vickman thinks he needs another ball carrier. He wasn't so excited about what he saw with Ian Clark advancing the ball. And they're the two Foxwell brothers.
If I'm the older brother, I'm smacking him upside the head. Yo, bro, get off me.
Who do the parents cheer for?
Wow.
You go with the older brother because he was here first?
I think
if I'm mistaken, is there another brother as well?
Yeah, another younger one coming through.
Wow.
6 minutes remaining. It's been an action-packed second quarter here at John Cain Arena.
This is what I'm expecting. Wow. This is just...
Glover goes down.
Check this.
Chris Golding trying to fight over the top of the screen, and that's going to be his second. And I think the officials, you're going to hear a lot of whistles the next 4 or 5 minutes on the basis of them seeing it getting a little out of hand and wanting to tidy it up.
This is when...
And when you hear a lot of whistles, what you generally see too is you start to see a lot of exaggeration, because you know that they're going to be happy to blow the whistle.
You can check out the match report for this game and all the games across round 5, all of the stats, all the breaking news. It is all straight to your app. Just download it. Drew's got it in his hand right now.
Oh, word. All the statistical data you need.
I'd love to see the referees bring both teams in and say, listen, I want you guys to have a good game, but cut out all the nonsense.
Well, they sort of did. They went to the coaches, both coaches, and they read them the riot act.
It's like a boxing match, coach.
It is.
Bring him into the middle. We want a good, clean fight.
No blood, please.
Little Cameron fighting through contact. Melbourne thought there were multiple fouls. White picks the ball up off the floor.
Gee, just the shooting for both these teams. 32% for Phoenix, and they only trail them by 3.
Sobey drives, scores, and one.
That's tough, Jack. That's what he needs to do. Now, no Derek Walton Jr. The ball's in his hands. It's his team.
We got the switch, and he had Lee on him. And here's the Amy replay. Wonderful insurance they provide. And have a look on the screen out, on the box out, to help open up that driving lane.
Tangerine timeout. The Phoenix have had all sorts of struggles in this season so far, but they're happy to throw a few punches of their own today.
Well, it is, and I think that it's the occasion, it's the history, it's the fact that they've lost 7 in a row. They got a new coach, and personal pride and character kicks in, Copes.
I said it before, forget about the coaches.
And
let them play.
And it's not just about what happens on the floor. If history tells us, off the floor, if you're the loser in the home city, Copes, you had a couple of experiences.
100%. I remember we played the Giants, and the Giants beat us. Remember they opened this new store. They opened a new store on Chapel Street, TGI Fridays, and there was one table left, Jack. D-Mac had his family there. I walk in with my little people, and D-Mac gave me the shoulder as if to say, bro, we won. I got the table. I had to go down the street to Chappelle's and get me some spaghetti.
That's it.
Left me hanging, bro.
You did the right thing.
I did the right thing. So that's what it's all about with this rivalry, man. You know, take it personally.
It's Melbourne who lead by 1. Steph Baumgart's got an update on Matthew Dellavedova.
I do. It's good news for United fans. Delhi is all good. His right ankle is strapped up, but he should be good to play. I've just had a very brief update on Derek Walton Jr. as well. They've told me that they're working on his right hamstring currently. They can't confirm how bad it is yet.
Well, you can't risk a hamstring. If it's a tweak, you come out and push that a little bit harder, and you could make it worse. So a hamstring, there's certain injuries that you can power through.
Bro, they're 0-5. Get him out of here. Let's go.
Well, you don't want to lose him for the next. You might lose him for a week or two as opposed to 7 or 8.
Well, it's an interesting one for them. They've got back-to-back doubleheaders, Southeast Melbourne. They go to New Zealand on Thursday, and then they host Illawarra coming up as well. White steps out for 3. He's added that to his game since we last saw him.
There's a little rivalry between these two guys. I know they played together in college, yeah?
Yeah, Duke.
And but every time they make a basket, they're talking trash.
Sobey from outside. He's certainly trying to get himself involved in the game, but it's not happening for Danovic. Shows him how it's done, and we're tied at 33.
He deserved that. He tipped that ball out, got the extra shot.
Steph told us Delhi back on the floor. That ankle heavily taped up. Rebound by Matt Hurt. 4 of those to go with his 5 points. And he's got a head of steam. He takes it straight out wide. Now they kick it back up. Vodanovic pick and pop. Back-to-back threes. Southeast Melbourne in front.
Well, that's what he does. He can stretch the floor with his 3-ball. Had a massive game in the preseason where he shot the lights out. And when he's that wide open, he's a dangerous commodity.
Now, am I hearing that the Southeast Melbourne have already hired another coach to come in the next couple of weeks, apparently, or next week or so?
Rumor has it.
Rumor.
What happens if Sammy gets this win? What happens if Sam wins today?
It's Vodanovic. This one's just off the O boards, and sort of a closeout. Pick, they show and they don't switch. And if you're going to do that, the defender of the guy in the corner's got to, at the very least, stunt.
Rotate, yeah, something.
Rotate or stunt to make it.
Think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Still physical out there. Hunter swats away Clark. Marcus Lee cleans it all up. They continue to go at it, these two teams. Foxwell tucked away in front of the Southeast Melbourne bench.
He's tough.
Well, the difference in their play is they're starting to knock down some shots.
They've got that three-point shooting clip up to 40%. This Shea Ely not playing today with a minor calf injury.
Sobey's limping off.
See, Foxwell's just hit one, Coach. And now I know you've been calling for Ben Eyre. He's only played 2 minutes this season. But here's where Sobey might have just hurt. Might have got a little clip into the quad. But Foxwell's just hit one in the corner.
And you're snatching him. Boy, let me tell you something. You better be glad Sammy's not my coach. I'm giving it to him. Hey, man, did you see the shot I just made? Come on.
First minutes for Ben Eyre, who has only played 2 minutes and 31 seconds for the season so far. One thing he will do is agitate. He's got 5,000, he's happy to use them.
He's going to get up and in. That's what you love about him.
Unfortunately, that one's going to send Matthew Dellavedova to the free throw line. So this last 2:43, every foul is going to end up in free throws.
To make a move, and it's still on. Yeah, absolutely.
And for a guy who's got a pretty funky shooting technique, he's a reliable free throw shooter at 75% across his NBL career.
His season stats, 47, 36, 84. That's a decent shooting clip for the season. Verdanovic was paid zero respect.
Look at him. He's got his hands out and saying, where's some respect?
Like, don't you guys know who I am?
Just seen I've knocked down a couple. Watch him as he comes back. There was, unfortunately for Jake, where's the D? Come on, man. Show some respect. Hey, don't ask for it. Just take it.
I know.
It's the same Tom Verdanovic that had a DMP last week. He's come out into this game with 9 points. He's a plus 11 in his time on the floor.
Get there, get there.
Lee's got the mismatch. Oh. Nice help from Verdanovic.
Oh.
Wieskamp trying to get after it. Great hustle from the Phoenix. Right now, they just wanted a bit more.
And that's what I'm talking about. Play for yourself. Get on this floor and give it your all.
Dellavedova thought he was fouled. Lee is fouled.
On number 1.
This is what you're talking about, Jack, of just wanting it a little bit more. Wieskamp gets a running start at it. Straight away gets an easy 2, which will do his confidence the world of good. That's only his first bucket, 1 of 3, and he's only played 8 minutes. So he was a big-name recruit, NBA experience, spent some time with the Spurs. And comes in as a shooter that hasn't shot well.
38 games, San Antonio and Toronto coach in the NBA, Joe Wieskamp.
I've seen him get hot. Now, once it goes, it goes. It's a high shot, but he can shoot it. He's just having a little. That's just not smart. And Dean's not happy.
No, you're not. Missed a couple of free throws and straight down the other end, you fouled the three-point shooter.
Is it fair to say that didn't Melbourne United go through some struggles last year when Shea was out?
Absolutely.
All right, okay. He makes his team, he gels his team offensively and defensively. Gets the guys in the right position. Knocked down 3 threes in a row, and I'm gonna shoot an air ball at the free throw line. Come on, bro.
The difference is his technique is the same, but his tempo on his free throw is a lot slower than when he shoots a 3. And he's got a little kink. There's a kink if you watch him shoot when he gets to the top of his head. But I believe that the state of Victoria will be eating cheeseburgers courtesy of the fine people of Hungry Jack's.
Yes, sir. While you're headed to Hungry Jack's, work on that kink on that ugly free throw of yours.
One foul at the other end.
It's tempo, Cubs. Like when he's in the three-point shot, he's going up, he's in rhythm, but at the free throw line, he slows it down a little bit, and the kink becomes a lot more exaggerated when it's not the same pace.
But your normal fans don't know that, Drew. They don't hear that. They see him shoot a long shot, a long shot, a long shot.
Oh, no.
And then he gets closer and he can't make it.
I'm just trying to help him out as he goes through the review. I'm just giving him a coaching
Just to recap, the code word there is clocked for burgers for Victorian basketball fans. And that's great news for my kids who are here today at the game, because that's what they're having for dinner on the way home.
Jack, who comes up with the code words? Can I ask?
Do you have an easy question? I'm not sure, Coach. Why do you ask?
I have a couple of easier words for him.
Put that in the suggestion box as a turnover.
Well, there's the defense that Melbourne United have been renowned for. They're up and in. And Jack White doing a good job forcing that turnover on Vodanovic.
Phoenix lead by 6. Their last win against Melbourne came in round 9 of the 22-23 season. Golding fires away. Timeout from Sam McKinnon. He does not want this Melbourne United team to get hot.
He knows if Chris Golding makes one, they're going at him again, so.
Well, they switched on the back screen, and Chris keeps moving. So he comes off it and is wide open. And see, there's a switch. Vodanovic doesn't realise, comes in too late, doesn't go over the top. Poof. He made a few errors on that defensive play.
And that's one person you don't want to leave.
So it's the Phoenix by 3 in this Tangerine timeout. Steph's got the latest on Derek Walton Jr.
I sure do. It's not good news for the Phoenix. They just confirmed Derek Walton Jr. will miss the remainder of the game with a strained right hamstring.
It's not good for the Phoenix, Steph. As we say, they've got a game in New Zealand next Thursday at Wolfbrook Arena. And they've got a game back here on the Saturday. And then in round 7, a double. They have Tasmania at the Silverdome in Launceston. And then Sunday here at Perth. So both of these teams have got a lot of games in a short space of time.
Yeah, and their schedule for both Melbourne United and the Phoenix, it's front-loaded with a lot of home games because of the unavailability of this venue during January because of the Australian Open.
This Taylor Willis, currently the 3rd fastest hurdler in Australian history at just 21 years of age, sitting there in the grey hoodie, and Ava Francis alongside him as well. And our Reebok influencer seats this afternoon.
Basketball brings out the best in all the celebrities, doesn't it? Everyone comes out.
Everyone wants those seats. Keep getting messages. How do we get involved? I'll just tell them to talk to Coates. Hunter fouled and one.
That's going to be Lowe's 3rd. And
from outside, I may have a trouble on the same time after. Did you lost the guard of the ball after?
Hey! I think it's one motion, so you smack it in the face on this side of the play.
Okay, but do we have a trouble after? And did you release
so you're saying no bucket and 2 shots?
There is a trouble after.
Okay, so no
basket,
but we got 2 shots. Yeah. Okay, so no score. Fouls on number 2, hands foul, and we have 2 shots. So
but I've got trouble after. So therefore we win the basket, but we get 2 shots.
yeah. So after the foul is committed, you can't take 28 steps even though you're in the same motion and lay it up. So the foul stands, and it's going to be 2 free throws, but he doesn't get the made basket because he's travelled. I've seen less travels not call. It was a quick one, shuffling of the feet. But they're onto it, and it doesn't count.
As you mentioned, Drew, that's 3 fouls now for Rob Lowe. So sub straight back into the game and gets another foul.
He swung down on the ball. He didn't have to. He had his hands in the air. Hunter makes a free throw. It's an area of his game that's improved a lot over the course of his time in the NBL.
Got that up to 75% for the season. There was a time when he was at Sydney that had a 6 in front of it, that stat.
Or even lower.
Yeah, I was going to say back in our day.
Phoenix are holding their nerve here. Needless to say, they would love to take a lead into halftime. Dellavedova exploring. Now he'll try and bully his way in on Sobey.
Smart play by Delhi. Got Sobey off his feet and works his way to the free throw line. Head fake right here. Huh. And that's an easy call for the officials.
Ben Air out, Angus Glover back in. In fact, Sobey, I should say. coming out?
I'm asking the question here. What's different about Phoenix now? I mean, in one game, Mike Kelly, Sam McKinnon, obviously. But why are they playing so differently? Are they running different plays, Joey?
Well, they're second last in three-point field goal percentage on the season, whereas this afternoon, they're up to 40, close enough to 44%, 7 of 16. So they're making shots, and to me, they just look a little bit more balanced on the offensive end. And some of their sets they're running.
Lewis, nice pass inside, and Hurt was good enough to find it.
She's had a lot of free throws, and most of them. The Phoenix, this is going to be their 15th and 16th free throw for the half. Melbourne United are 7 of 10.
Is there a part of it too, Copes, and I know you kind of touched on it a little bit in the pre-game with the Phoenix. Mike Kelly was the first one to lose his job. From a playing group, are they almost out of excuses now?
They should be, yeah, and they should have been even before Mike lost his job. And not just the throwdown. It's about competing night in and night out. You're a professional. You're getting paid to do something. You can't just let teams run all over you. There needs to be, and I don't know if this has happened or not, there needed to be team meetings. There needed to be a fight with the team, the locker room, going at it to get these guys fired up. I've seen it all.
Last play of the first half. Golding couldn't get open. Now White loses the handle. Bonus possession for the Phoenix.
4 seconds.
Ben Air trying to create something. Couldn't get that shot away, but the Phoenix lead at halftime, and they deserve this lead. Looking for their first win of NBL 25. They're up 5 at the half. Stick with us. This is Sunday Hoops.
name's Rob Lowe. I was born in England and I moved to New Zealand when I was 4 and grew up in New Zealand. We have a small family because all my extended family was in England, but very sporty, into our sports. I never really got into rugby so much. I played football or soccer growing up, then basketball, volleyball, then I dabbled in ultimate frisbee as well. Getting to represent the country is huge. You know, any athletes, and it's the pinnacle of our sport, and just being able to do that on the world stage is huge. And something special with the Tall Blacks, because we're such a small basketball community in New Zealand that, you know, being able to represent everyone is huge. Just being at the World Cup, you know, getting to do that twice was something special. It helped really grow my game, you know, just learning from those veterans that are on that team. Just soaking in the atmosphere and the way people carry themselves was huge for my development as a player and as a person. I think it's awesome. You know, it starts from the top of the club all the way down. You know, even our team, there's so many different cultures involved and people from different countries and backgrounds, and it's awesome to get to represent that and you know, just welcome everyone from the community into our environment.
Soul searching at the moment for Melbourne United. They've been dominant throughout the throwdowns, but right now it's the winless South East Melbourne Phoenix. 5 points the better, all thanks to Vodanovic going whack, whack, whack. We talked about Nathan Sobey, we talked Derek Walton Jr., but it's Vodanovic that's come out and done the damage.
Well, they've been looking for a three-point threat. This team's built to be able to shoot the three ball, but Vodanovic came on and they really didn't show him the respect he deserved. He's been around a while and played some important roles with some championship teams, and his three-point shooting is what he does best. And as you can see with those two, not a lot of pressure on them, and I suspect at halftime that Melbourne United will be making an adjustment in how they deal with those on-ball screens with the pick and pop.
Don't expect it. Dean Bickerman absolutely will be talking about trying to shut this guy down. He shouldn't be able to shoot the ball that wide open. And look, at certain times when he knocks shots down, he's looking for the defense. He was wondering, where's the defense? Don't you guys know what I can do here? So, well done to him.
Nathan Sobey's been able to find the basket, 7 points at the moment. Derek Walton Jr. going down. We say it time and time again, but he's going to have to step up in this second half if they want to continue this march.
Yeah, he looks good in the half court when he gets a bit of space and he can get downhill. That's another example of it. He can finish at the rim. He's a really good athlete. And when they get that switch, he gets a bigger guy on him, just blows straight by him. So he's been relatively patient and being able to pick his moments, and so far it's been one of his better performances of the season.
He just looks more comfortable. And he looks like he's running the show now. He's getting people involved. You know, he's playing good defense. He's knocking down the shots. He's not rushing anymore. So hopefully, we said before, we want to see him have a good game. He deserves it.
The big talking point out of this game is going to be Sam McKinnon. Now, we said potentially there's already another coach in the works, but what we've seen from him so far, he's looking pretty good.
He is. I mean, he looks comfortable. And Sam has been in this game a long time. He's played under Brian Gorgon. You know, he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. But he's a motivator as well. He's motivating these guys, and they look a lot better to him.
Oh, they certainly do, and we've already seen some subtle changes to some of their half-court sets and their priorities. Their substitution rotation has been a little different than what we saw under Mike, but still a half of basketball to go, and it's going to be they're going to need that and more in the second half. It started to get a little bit physical. There was
That's what we want. We
emotion out there, and I think that helps the Phoenix as well.
Well, is that something that we're excited to see from the Phoenix? Of course, we didn't see too much of that in the early going, but a little bit of fire, a couple of stray elbows. Who would have thought Chris Golding involved as well?
But you know, when you look at the Phoenix team, nobody on that team's from Melbourne. So how could you have a rivalry against the Melbourne United? But when you start throwing elbows and you start knocking people down, that's when you get fired up, and that's what got them going in the first half.
Speaking of elbows thrown around, knocking each other down, Montrezl Harrell in action later on. The Adelaide 36ers taking on the Jack Jumpers coming up at 4:30 p.m. One of the best front courts we've seen. Isaac Humphries, Montrezl Harrell, and Jarrell Martin coming into that lineup. That's going to be an awfully tough one to stop. But there's plenty more coming up from John Cain Arena right now. South East Melbourne lead by 5.
I just shot, I'ma find you. That's all I mean. Like, whatever you do, I read you. Peace! You either is or you ain't, bro. Hey, can I just ask you like a question, not even basketball related? Y'all watch film just like we do. When y'all get in those situations, y'all don't think like, damn, he do this every week. Like,
That's Derek Walton Jr., our Harvey Norman in the zone player today, but unfortunately that's the last of we'll hear of him off the back of this incident. Shortly after, grabbed at the hamstring, and unfortunately his afternoon is over. So a big blow for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. There he is, grabbing at the hamstring. Their premium point guard won't be available for the remainder of today. Unfortunately, they're going to have to find other ways to score. Look at that jersey.
Wow, that's an old jersey there, isn't it?
Yeah. It takes you back, and then you have a look at Sam McKinnon. Copeland and McKinnon.
That's right.
Southeast Melbourne Magic and the Melbourne Tigers. That's my childhood right there.
Wow. Oh, I gave him numbers. He knows it. He knows it. I gave him numbers, Joey.
That's not what he said.
Warwick Giddy gave him a nose ache.
Yep.
In that
broke his nose.
97 grand final.
459 games in the NBL, Sam McKinnon. 159, 7 of those with the Magic. And sorry to bring it up, but a championship as well. Clark, straight out of the halftime buzzer.
Maxwell starts for him in the second half.
They need to play some big minutes with no Walton Jr.
Take a dribble.
Hurt and White, what a matchup that's been. Difficult look for Matt Hurt.
Not sure that's the shot they want from Matt Hurt. He can knock down the open three, but the step back off the bounce three, not sure that's his go.
Sobey, only 7 points in the first half. Settles for an early three.
Why settle?
I know, get to the basket.
Just keep getting in there, put some heat on the rim, and Phoenix, oh dear. It's a foul. Jordy Hunter.
It was almost a baptism.
Phoenix, they're last in free throw attempts. And they're settling, I think, too much. Now, tonight they've been good. They've got to the free throw line.
That's all in the second quarter, though. They shot a lot of free throws in that second quarter.
But in general, across the first 5 games, they haven't been there enough. And a lot of that can just be the intent of what you're trying to do. And Nathan Sobey's last attempt is an example of that.
But he's athletic enough, he's quick enough to get past Chris Golding. Chris is going backwards and you're going forward with the ball. Make the put the pressure on the referees, make them make that call.
Dellavedova, White, Clark, Lee, and Golding out there for Melbourne. Hunter, Sobey, Hurt, Lewis, and Foxwell. For Southeast Melbourne, Malik Lewis, wide open. He looks good. He looks like he's got some serious talent.
Yeah, it's not the quickest release on the 3 ball, but when he's that open, he's shown he can knock it down, as can Matthew Dellavedova when he gets to the rim. He made a pretty tough floater going away from the basket look very easy.
9 points for Dellavedova. Ian Clark, the game's leading scorer with 10. Hunter Vodanovic have 9 for Southeast Melbourne. And Hunter adds 2 more.
It's just Dean Vickerman's not happy with that play, but
and Lee out for Clark. It's pure.
It's pure when the ball moves that quick. Dribble handoff, quick post up, quick screen. The action was put a lot of pressure on the defense because of the pace at which they play.
Sloppy from Sobey. His shooting clip doesn't improve. Hunter, right place, right time again. Dean Vickerman took a swipe at anything he could find. He's filthy with what's happening. It's the Phoenix who lead by 6.
22nd on Marcus Lee under the basket. It's a good run here by the Phoenix.
The ball was supposed to be so clearly he's involved in the play. He made no effort to get out.
It's a fair answer.
Let him know.
Lewis at the top of the key. Lob for
Oh,
Hunter.
nice.
He threw it up and Hunter went and found it.
When that ball went up, I said, there's no way he's going to get that.
It was the pass. Lewis has knocked down the 3 ball. This time off the dribble, the one-handed pass, and Sobey's going to pick up a foul. And it was pinpoint accuracy as we take a look at the Amy replay. The one-handed cope off the pass. That is great touch by Lewis.
It's all about the jump through. It's all about the athletic guy when the young
well,
man
I think the pass, you can't, you know,
pass. Anybody can make that pass.
Well, when you're just
you got to
born
be
with,
athletic enough to go up in there and get it, Jackie boy.
Just born with those gifts, with the skill you got to develop to make that pass. That's an offensive foul, illegal screen on Chris Golding. He's given it the shock emoji look. He can't understand it.
That's his third.
That ends up as a GIF, I reckon, that, from Golding. It's his third foul. So he has 3, Lee has 3, Lowe has 3.
And if you're playing smart basketball now, this is when you go at him. Go at him now. Get him in the foul trouble. Get him on the bench.
Sobey sitting down. Has 3 for South East Melbourne. Does Owen Foxwell. Hurt and White. The battle continues.
Just a little too much dribble for Hurt, and everyone standing around and loses the handle of it.
Good D. I got a question for you. Does anybody run flex or cross screens or down screens anymore?
It's on-ball screens, zoom action. That is, you know, coming off the staggers out of the corner. They do run a little bit, but certainly not as much as we've seen in the past.
The great Trevor Gleeson was watching, he would say no.
Yeah.
Hunter, tough look over the top of Lowe, who's navigating his way through some foul trouble. White with his back to the basket, forces his way in on Glover. And eventually drew a foul. Both teams kind of feeling each other out a little bit at the start of this third quarter.
It's a real physical game. And Melbourne United, not for the first time this season, they go into the halftime break and they come out with just a bit more fire in the belly on the defensive end after that halftime break. But this time around, the Phoenix have been able to keep the scoreboard ticking over enough. And it's whether they can weather the storm. Oh, jeez.
Was that an air ball?
That was an air ball.
Come on.
Okay.
Well, no, it's not okay.
No, I was just about to say.
You can't be shooting air balls from the free throw line.
Nice play for Wieskamp. Took it to the rack and was challenged.
Hey, basket. Blue 11, hit.
Good action. The coach calling for more cutting action, and the weave is a misdirection out in front. And it was just a beautiful pass by Angus Glover to find Wieskamp.
Pick number 41 in the 2021 NBA draft with the San Antonio Spurs.
He shoots that thing awfully high, doesn't he?
Some issues from the free throw line this season. Only 50% coming into today. South East Melbourne continue on their merry way. They led by 5 at halftime. The lead is 9 right now. Lowe couldn't have the tip-in stick. Golding.
Oh, gee.
That is a foul.
So you lose a whole lot of credibility when Lewis tries to argue that. He took his arm off.
No, yeah.
I don't know what he's possibly complaining about. Good kick-out pass. He just smacked it.
He got him.
We got 3 free throws for Chris Golding. Not sure what he possibly could be complaining about. He's still chatting to the officials.
He got him on the wrist or the hand. Chris will definitely put a little mayonnaise on it, though, just to make sure the referees get the right call.
Malik Lewis looked at Sam McKinnon, the coach, and waved the finger for a challenge. Sam McKinnon did not even acknowledge it, just completely ignored it and said, we won't be challenging that.
Sam turned around, walked out the stadium, and got in his car, drove off.
Golding makes all 3. Has 11 points now. Jordy Hunter still leads the way with 15 points, but not out on the floor right now for the Phoenix.
Post up.
They find Matt Hurd. He was the open man, just like you asked for, Coach.
100%.
And the other thing is they went back to the exact same play with Wieskamp. It wasn't on. They went to the next phase of that set and got the switch they were looking for. Good execution and good play calling by Sam McKinnon.
What's that, New Zealand love there? Old New Zealand love there. That's how they play over in New Zealand. Trust me. And that's not a foul in New Zealand.
I think
come on, bro. Hey,
surely that's a worldwide foul.
Mika Bacona, those guys, Perro Cameron would hit you. You go flying down the other end of the court, and they'd ask you, "Are you okay?"
How sincere was that when they asked if you're okay?
Oh, no. You knew the next one was coming as well, so.
"24 years of age, Flynn Cameron, coming off a season in the NZNBL with Taranaki, averaged 16 points, coached by Sam McKinnon.
They look a little calmer, though. I mean, Southeast Melbourne, they're not erratic. They're not all over the place. They look as if they're trying to impress the new coach. And that's generally what happens when a coach gets fired. You get the best out of the players that next game.
We don't know who it is, but the new coach is probably watching it live, listening to us. Reassess.
If I'm Sammy and they bring another guy in here, I'm protesting. I'll be right out front with a sign.
Especially if they keep playing like this.
That's what I mean.
The rumour is that the new coach for Southeast Melbourne is on his way from a long way away.
So he's got to learn the players, learn the league. Oh.
Line up. 2 shots. Let's go, Golding. Let's go.
And once again, Chris Golding fouled in the act of shooting 3.
The last one was different.
Wieskamp trying to argue that he thought it was Chris Golding kicking his leg out, but the foul wasn't for the pushing action, it was because it was on the arm. It was a hands foul. So another 3 free throws for Chris Golding. Oh,
rare miss.
5 or 6 on the evening.
63-57, 10,175 here today at John Cain Arena. Another official sellout for a throwdown. Late clock for Wieskamp. Off the glass, can't score.
That's one he should have made.
Dellavedova charges up the other end. Golding, unsuccessful. Phoenix holding their own in the rebounding count. They are dead last in every rebounding stat you can find. Today it's been a better performance on the glass for Danovic. That is nothing but pure Victorian air. Now Lowe trying to get busy on Hurd, can't score, and then Hurd knocked it away. Up and down stuff. Malik Lewis challenged.
He gave Delhi the in and out and froze him.
Well, it is. It's going to be 4 fouls now for Lowe. And aggressive at the rim. And despite some of the more structural changes, I do, and you might get misled because of the scoreline, and they're actually winning at the moment, but you just get a strong feel that the intensity that South East Melbourne come out with this afternoon, a little stronger than what we've seen in the past.
Again, when you get a new coach like that,
but
we see it everywhere.
Danny Minogue in the house, never misses a Melbourne United game.
Love it when you see not just the ones that just come every once to be seen. She is a genuine Melbourne United fan, loves the basketball.
Clark made a hot start to the game. It's been a little quiet since then. Malik Lewis, since coming into this starting lineup, has played some good minutes. 6 points, 4 rebounds today, 3 assists as well. Sobey, perhaps a little gun-shy. Shot just not working this season. Looks at the clock, has to shoot over the top of Dellavedova.
We didn't want the screen. He had the mismatch, and because the screen came and allowed Delhi to switch onto him.
Tick down to the last 2 minutes of the third term. It'll be a Phoenix ball.
Slow, dried up a little bit, hasn't it?
Jack White, 7 points, 6 rebounds. Clark and Golding, the only 2 players in double figures for Melbourne. Geordie Hunter with 15 is South East Melbourne's and the game's leading scorer. Wieskamp. That's no good as well. Sobey saw it coming. It had neon lights flashing all over it. And Sobey with the jam.
It's an interesting time to call a timeout. Only a minute 30 remaining. A couple of possessions, but Dean doesn't like to see the momentum going the way the Phoenix, trying to snap it before the 3/4 time break, and Sobey goes up and tucks that in with a high degree of authority. Well read by Sobey.
He'll take his points anyway. He can get them right now. That's got him to 9. We're about to jump into the South East Melbourne timeout with thanks to Tangerine. Here's their interim coach, Sam McKinnon.
Whitey's the 5. Gloves out. Malik's in. Hey, just great job riding those waves, fellas. Keep competing. Contest every shot. Lock and trail on those a few fouls. I should have done that one. Let's go a 13 curl. 13 curl for Joe. All right. So this way. You start that corner. Start that corner there. So's there. Go.
So his coach for today, what it looks like beyond this, we're not too sure.
It looks good. I mean, the tempo looks good. The guys are playing hard for him, or playing hard for themselves. He's running some different plays, some different looks.
He's in the timeout. He's called a play. He wants to go back to Joe Wieskamp, and he'll set a screen. They'll curl off him, and then it'll be a screen-to-screener type action that they're looking to get.
Last 90 seconds of the third quarter. Clark from deep. Just Malik Lewis again, just getting himself involved. Wieskamp, blocked by Bowen, who told him all about it too. White downhill. Now Sobey pushing the issue for South East Melbourne. Numbers against him. Perhaps not the right decision. Dellavedova for Bowen. both ends.
Nothing but net, but let me tell you something. Not the prettiest looking thing I've ever seen.
66%, Coach.
Oh, he shoots it well.
Small sample size, but a couple of big moments for Melbourne there. Hunter rises above. It's been a presence today.
Back 14. Block. Two.
It's going to be on White, and what he did, he turned his body. He got into a really good defensive position, but then he turned his body just as the contact was made, and that was what the foul was called for. Wieskamp checks out. Sobey's out as well. Glover comes in, so they want to add a bit more defense for this last possession.
Only 4 seconds, though. I want a clock.
Hunter's had a great game. Got the 16 points, 6 boards.
Giving them some trouble. I had 17-7 in their round 2 loss to Melbourne.
Blue ball. Shoot a violation. Blue ball.
Don't see that all that often. Geordie Hunter knew it was short. As soon as he released it, went over the free throw line before it hit the rim.
A 4-second difference between the game and shot clock. Dellavedova has 9 points for the game, 7 assists. It's now 24 in a row, I should say, where he's had 4 or more assists. On the bounce to Krebs. Got Glover up in the air. Big time three. In the shadows of three-quarter time. Tanner Krebs steps up.
He let it go. He let it go. You're not even watching it.
Replay centre stopped the game to 15. He's shepherding the ball, stopping the white guy getting from it. Can we please check the clock when that starts and reset it when I stop the game?
Have a look at Bowen underneath. It's a good made three, but Bowen knows that they're going to have about 4 or 5 seconds. Lewis is trying to get the ball out of bounds. Couldn't quite see it on that angle. And just won't let him get it. And he did it subtly enough not to be penalised.
Foxwell from halfway. Oh. It's a 3-point game in Throwdown 26. The Phoenix still in front, still looking for their first win of the NBL 25 season.
cramped, but I hope it was that and I didn't do nothing crazy. Oh my God.
There's Derek Walton Jr. in the zone today for Harvey Norman. Great access from all of our clubs and all of our players this season. You heard him say he thought it was cramped, but certainly more than that. Dellavedova gets busy to start the fourth.
Strong drive by Dylan. Uses his body so well.
Glover, Sobey, Hunter, Hurt, Lewis out there for the Phoenix. Here's Geordie Hunter. No good from long range. Low. Dellavedova, Krebs, Bowen and Clark for Melbourne. Delhi. Wouldn't back it up. They've done a lot of things right here, the Phoenix. It's important they stay with it, though, to start the last. Hunter plays through the contact and has 18 points.
He's been tough all day.
And going at Rob Lowe's the right idea. He's got the 4 fouls. Test to see how much defense and how physical he wants to be. Oh dear, that was just a terrible pass by Kelly.
Steph, you were listening to Dean Vickerman at three-quarter time.
Sure was. He was very happy with the ball movement down the stretch. He said, let's go to work with this final quarter. Setting screens is their key focus.
Krebs kicks it out for Bowen. Low on the trail. A wry smile. He's had a tough afternoon, Rob Lowe, but that was important. And we are tied at 68 in the throwdown. Glover marshalling the troops. Great look for Sobey. It counts.
That's the Sobey we know. Knocking down threes, getting a dunk.
It's what we've been talking about, Coach. Off the ball, he runs that Iverson cut, gets to the corner, and then they help out off on him. But the mere fact he moves around, moving off the ball, is where I think good things can happen for him. And it's a foul for the reach-in. Here's the Amy replay, the last Rob Lowe 3, and then down the other end, the kick-out pass, Sobey wide open.
All in rhythm, all in rhythm.
And they thought it was going to be Phoenix ball, but a reach-in foul call.
Sobey with 4 fouls, Rob Lowe with 4 as well. Lee and Golding for Melbourne have 3 each. They're not on the floor right now. Foxwell, who is out there for the Phoenix, has 3. Low left open. Hurt picks up another one.
White 22. Hit.
Golding back in. Tony Krebs sits down. This game on a knife's edge right now.
And this is what you want to see. No one wants to see a blowout. You want to see a contest.
It's been a grind, not a real physical game.
Pass. Dellavedova found the cutter in Bowen.
Well read by Bowen off the ball. His defender turns his head. Delhi was in amongst the tall timber. Found the cutter.
Melbourne is starting to dial up things defensively. Glover pulls the trigger. Angus Glover hitting big shots.
That's the Glover you know, Drew. Isn't that the same guy that beat you in the NBL1?
No, we were fortunate enough to get hold of the champions, the eventual champions, but he can do that. Not afraid of the big moment.
Oh, that's a tough shot. That's a tough one. Golding pulled that trigger from Burnley. He was that far away.
It's almost like he was overly concerned to get one back on Glover, who just scored on him. Oh.
That foul will be called on Ian Clark.
Let's go, let's go.
74-76-55 to go.
Here is Angus Glover. For Sydney Kings fans watching, they'll remember this from the Championship Series a couple of years ago.
And boy, how pretty it was.
The Game 5 hero with what turned out to be a serious rib injury as well. Great off-season signing by the Phoenix. Hunter crashes the glass. Hurt. It's good.
That'll hurt.
That will hurt.
That hurts. For Melbourne United, they get it right back, and Phoenix doing what they haven't been able to do so far and show some resilience on the offensive end.
Great ball movement here from Melbourne. Villanova can't capitalise. Phoenix are having a good couple of minutes. Plummer! Not that time.
Oh, that would have really hurt.
Clark down the lane. Thought he was fouled. It's back to 5 in the throwdown.
Oh, gee. Plummer got away with the travel. And Hurt with a couple of threes.
And he's dancing now.
They lead by 8. Southeast Melbourne 80, Melbourne 72. The Tangerine timeout with 5:41 remaining. Matt Hurt going back to back.
He shoots that thing high too, doesn't he? He's so confident. I love the way he plays.
He's come up big when they've needed him in this last quarter. 15 points. He's only had the 8 field goal attempts, so they've done a pretty good job of restricting him. And there you can see the excitement that it's generating on the bench. An 8-point lead. Melbourne United have continually been able to get this back to 1 to 2. And you're thinking, oh, well, the momentum's going their way. But Phoenix have been exceptionally in the way in which they've been able to just to look Melbourne in the eye and continue to make baskets to make sure they keep their advantage.
Yep. There you go. Gaze and Copeland.
Yeah.
Jackie boy, don't worry. We'll try to get you up there. Might take us a little time.
Don't worry about that.
A couple of years.
I wouldn't worry about that.
We'll try to get you a little jersey to stand up there.
It's in a bin at Frankston somewhere.
Oh, yes, sir, Jack.
Off the deluge.
Beautiful play again over the top. It's been their staple throughout the course of this season. And when you got an elite passer like Delhi, it's a high percentage option for him.
All about the hops, Drew. All about the hops, bro.
Perfect execution out of the timeout.
I don't like that shot. Hurt's been good.
He blocks Jack White there. Intriguing one-on-one battle that's been today. Matt Hurt and Jack White.
There you go.
Kicks it back out to Foxwell. It goes! Owen Foxwell standing up.
That kid deserves some time, some minutes from somebody.
Well, he's getting them in this one. A good, great kick-out pass by Hurt. Playing through Hurt now has been a good formula for Phoenix.
That's Melbourne who have got to find the answers. Flynn Cameron, no good. Steph, you were listening into Sam McKinnon.
Sure was. You can tell these guys are up and about now. They said there are just 5 minutes left. No missed positions for the rest of the game. They've got to keep the tension on the screens.
Wow. This is a danger game for Melbourne United. You don't want to let this one slip. At home against an 0-5 team.
On the flip side of that, Coach, this is an urgent one for Phoenix. Give them a chance just to hang on to the peloton.
3 of 7, make that 3 of 8 for the afternoon, Chris Golding. 85-74. The winless Southeast Melbourne can sense their opportunity. Wieskamp. Barely hit the rim. And White's little handoff for Golding. He stalked and wrapped around. And when he took possession, he buried it.
And Sammy Smart, he knows. Shut those emotions down straight away. Chris Golding makes a 3.
Well, it's on the back of a wide open Wieskamp miss, and at the end of the day, that's what he's been brought in to do, is knock down the 3 ball. He has not found his rhythm here in the NBL.
The Tangerine timeout. Don't forget, as soon as we finish up here, we head to Adelaide and Tasmania, a milestone game at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre as well. And John Casey standing by.
6 games in, and reigning champions Tasmania has just 2 wins and sits 9th on the ladder. Today they face an Adelaide 36ers team at full strength for the first time this year, with championship winner Jarrell Martin set to make his Adelaide debut. Martin, Montrez Harrell and Isaac Humphries form a formidable front line, but Tasmania invariably finds a way to succeed here. They've won 3 out of 4 on this court and 7 out of 9 overall against Adelaide. It's a massive game for both teams. It's coming up live straight after the throwdown.
It's coming up next, and a big shout out to Jason Cadee, who plays game number 400 today in the NBL.
Yeah, Coach and I had the pleasure of coaching Jason for a season in the Sydney Kings.
Not only did we coach him, we taught him how to play dominoes, and every trip, we give him a little spanking, Julie, huh?
Yeah, every now and again. That was a good couple of seasons with Jace.
Great guy, man. Great guy.
Wonderful person.
Son of an Olympian, Robbie Cadee.
And there'll come a time here one day where we're sitting here and Jason Cadee's coaching a team.
Absolutely, absolutely.
One of the best basketball brains in Australia. What's coming up next? Adelaide and Tasmania. The two matters at hand. 8-point lead to Southeast Melbourne. Hurt from the corner. Rebound by Sobey all alone. Double-digit lead. And Melbourne have got some chasing to do, and they've got to do it quick.
Surely.
Jump ball. Good hustle by Jack White. Stays with Phoenix.
20 points, 8 rebounds. Jordan Hunter has been monumental today for Southeast Melbourne.
From the tip.
Felt like a very quick 8 seconds.
Well, they had it, yeah.
There you go.
That was.
Who says they never count?
It's the little things you got to be aware of. Foxborough could have got it over, he just wasn't aware of the clock.
Clark followed it up. It's back to 8, 79-87.
The coach, they don't need anything quick here. Just only want an early shot if you get something cheap.
Nice pass from Sobey.
Coach, he shot that with 13 seconds left.
He's wide open, but it was the wrong shot. Yeah, but that's a younger mind in there. And you don't want to discourage him from not taking the shot, but now you just got to read the time and know that.
That's right. That's part of his learning.
Final 2 minutes at John Cain Arena.
He's going up.
That misses everything. Just got to hold their nerve here, Southeast Melbourne.
There's no reason why, the way they're playing, they shouldn't win this game.
There's no reason why the way they're playing that they can't make a run and put themselves into playoff contention. Now they're given a head start, but they've got some talent.
Palmer pulls up. No Derek Walton Jr. We haven't seen him since the second quarter. Dellavedova. No good. Hunter kept Lee off the glass. The Phoenix hustle and get the ball back. Now time becomes their friend.
Be smart, get a good shot every time down the floor.
You want a shot here in the last 6 seconds. But
puts his head down, drives, and draws a foul. What a story this is going to be. South East Melbourne, winless. They sacked their coach.
Certainly gives us something to talk about, doesn't it, Jack?
How often does it happen in professional sport?
Yeah.
Coach gets the chop, and there's an immediate little bump.
Well, and it wasn't a long time, but there was enough time for Sam to make some adjustments. What was it, 8 days ago when they played? So there was that gap. Now it gets really busy from here on out, and what I'd be advising whoever it is that takes over, particularly if someone who's never been here before, I'll be letting Sam
run the show.
Yeah.
Until
have a transition period.
It's not in the book just yet. It's not in the book just yet.
No, it's not. Particularly if this gets, it's a regular foul.
He's diving after the ball and he's falling over.
His leg.
No, I don't see any grab there, dude. And there's definitely defensive in front of him.
You want to take it that side or this side, I think, right?
I agree with
coaches don't mind reaching a little bit, do they?
He's done a very good job today, Chris Reed.
Yeah, we've all reached a little bit as a coach. I know Drew used to reach all over the place.
No, well, right now in the press conference, they need a little help. They needed more possession. So Dean Bingham doing whatever he can to try and come up with another possession.
They need a quick score. Golding must drop. And that will be the end of Rob Lowe. And it might be the end of Melbourne United's hopes.
It's going to be two shots as well, I believe. Because the ball had already left the hand, hadn't it? No, it's only their fourth. It's only their... They're not in the bonus yet, so they stop the clock, so that's an advantage for Melbourne United. They get the clock stopped, they'll extend up and try and figure out a way to pull off a semi-miracle. It wouldn't be a total miracle, but it'd be...
Let me tell you something. 0-5, it's a miracle. 0-5, you're playing on the road against Melbourne United, who are one of the hot teams in the league, and you come in, you change coaches, you come in here and you get a win, you got to be happy with yourself. Now, the real question is how they do the next game.
Well, they've got a busy period, you're saying, Jack, coming up.
We go to New Zealand for Thursday, and then they've got Illawarra on Saturday.
That New Zealand game, is it in New Zealand?
Yes, sir.
But you know what? Team on the road, it's them against the world. You go over there and you play like you played tonight, you give yourself a chance.
Well, the game earlier on in the season, that was one that got away from Phoenix. They were in a real winnable situation and weren't able to get one on the road in New Zealand. So they'd be feeling good about their prospects going there based on what happened a few weeks ago.
.7 seconds left in the throwdown. Phoenix need to make good decisions, think their way through, just like that. Lewis takes the contact from White.
Gee, they're going for the score. To me, if you've got faith in your free throw shooting, because they're in the bonus now, you hold that up. You hold it up, kill another 4 or 5 seconds off the clock before they foul.
And that's why he got a foul. He's 0 for 2. He's a young kid. Let me tell you something. His brain would be like scrambled eggs right now.
Well, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier shooting this one when you've got a 6-point buffer, well, as opposed to when it's
no sir.
1 or 2
you miss those first 2. The first thing you think about when you walk to that line is, please don't let me miss these, please.
Well, on the season, you know, he hadn't taken a lot. On the season, though, he's an 85% free throw shooter.
And he makes the second. He increases the lead to 7. The last 30 seconds, Cameron makes it a 4-point game. Timeout, Southeast Melbourne. It's not done yet.
That's right, and I like Sam McKinnon's decision. Doesn't want any helter-skelter, wants to calm the troops down and understand the value of using the clock and getting the ball to people of the right hands at the moment who can, you feel confident about making free throws. Get your free throw shooters out on the floor.
I tell you, one person's coming off. Lewis, come on over here and sit next to me, bro.
Coach, on the season, he's 85%. So
he's a young kid, Drewy.
I think we talk about Geordie Hunter. I think Geordie Hunter, you might have to come and have a spell. Although, albeit that you've been a lot better this season, but you want ball handlers
and
to make sure, and free throw shooters is the personnel you want to have on the floor. And for Melbourne United,
there's no need to even try to take a shot now. You want to try to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, but for Melbourne United right now, they're trying to get in the lanes. They want a turnover out of the inbounds pass, a quick double team. If not, you need to stop the clock and foul and play the free throw shooting game and hope that the Phoenix can miss. Well, they take Hunter out. Wieskamp comes back in as the inbounder.
1 metre each way. Wieskamp, Lewis, Glover, Hurt, Sobey. For Southeast Melbourne, Cameron, Clark, Dellavedova, White, and Golding for Melbourne. All or nothing here for Melbourne United. Glover threw it back in. They almost turned the ball over. Phoenix fans with their hearts in their mouths.
Wow, me too, Jack. Me too.
Have a look at this. And the inbound pass.
Oh, am I?
Might have been a foul as well.
Is it wrong for me to say we've had game after game after game? What?
Yeah, I agree. Glover looked like he got fouled, but then he may have stepped out. So,
but is it wrong for me to say we've had game after game after game where they can't get the ball in bounds?
Yep.
This league is a professional league. What is wrong with you guys?
Hurt leaves that on the line. 5 points the difference. Cameron knocked down the last one. Sobey came up with it.
That's unsportsmanlike, surely.
Nathan Sobey puts his hand in the lane and comes up with a massive play.
From the side,
there's no one there.
And not a legitimate play. Yeah, it's unsportsmanlike. Two-end possession.
Contact from the side. No defense. Here we go.
The much maligned Nathan Sobey, whose season so far has been a roller coaster, can step to the free throw line and bury Melbourne United.
So from the side, there's no one their ball. No, I'm saying in the moment when he gets fouled, Sobey has the ball.
6-point game. Becomes 7.
Wow. Huge. Well done, Phoenix. Not over yet, but just on the overall game so far, this has been the bounce back that they've desperately needed. Well done, Sam McKinnon.
Phoenix to inbound. It's suspected Melbourne will try and foul pretty quickly. Sobey burns some time off the clock. The Phoenix have seen him off. Hurt will walk to the line and cap it all off. What a win.
Well, as I look down and see Tommy Greer high-fiving Simon Mitchell, and they have had a tough month. And they deserve a bit of relief. And they deserve a moment where they can celebrate.
Absolutely.
And get some joy.
Guess what, though? Now, if things are going to happen like they say they are. You bring in another coach, he changes things around again. Let it stay like it is. Give him a chance.
I think that horse might have already bolted, Coach.
For the first time this season, Southeast Melbourne are on the winners list. And once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. The Phoenix win it, 93-84 in the throwdown.
Well done to the Phoenix. They deserve it. They came out and played extremely hard from the beginning. They looked like a different team. They played together. They made the right decision, Shuri, and this is what happens when you, because they got plenty of talent.
Yeah, Matt Hurt and Geordie Hunter in particular, they're 4 and 5s. They got busy. 20 for Hunter, 15 for Hurt. And this is not just about the X's and O's. It's about resilience. It's about character. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix had that in spades here this afternoon. Not easy to bounce back. Uncertainty about the coach. Sammy comes in on an interim basis and says, look at me, look at me.
Look at me, look at me.
The Phoenix winners for the first time this season. After a tumultuous start, a deep sigh of relief. 93-84 in the throwdown. We're back to wrap it up next.
What do you want us?
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
It's been a horribly tough start to the season for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, but wins and losses don't matter when it comes to the throwdown. You put it all on the line, and that's what they did today, and they come up with the ultimate reward. Winners for the first time this season, 93-84 over Melbourne United.
And that's a big win, Jack, for these guys. They came out focused today, played great basketball. Geordie Hunter was big from the beginning, 20 points, 8 rebounds. And look, knocking bodies all over the place. They meant business today, and they got it done.
Yeah, it was. It was an impressive performance, and it was one that was built on a lot of grit. As we take a look at the stats, and they started out shooting the ball poorly.